Alright guys, today we're about to talk about vibrations, and I freaking love vibrations. So the scientists, they measure you and they put you under like a microscope and they can see that you're vibrating. Your body is literally vibrating and everything around you vibrate as well. And it vibrates in different hertz, like in different levels. And the higher you vibrate, the better it is. And the lower you vibrate, the worse it is. So vibrations and emotions are attached to each other. So depending on what you feel, you vibrate. And then you actually attract the same thing you vibrate. So for example, we have the scale, and this is from the book, the David Hawkins scale, Letting Go, and the consciousness book that he has. You can read more about it over there. But this scale is from 20 to 700 plus. It's like 1,000. And it starts in the bottom. So for example, you have shame on 20 hertz. So when you feel shame, you're on this level. And it can be for like you're doing something or someone else do something and you feel shame of it. You record yourself, it can be shameful. And then you're around here, and then how you see the life is it's miserable. You're miserable. You feel miserable. It reflects how everything around in your life will show up. So for example, when you move up the scale, you move up to guilt. For example, you feel guilt, and then you start, this is what you do. You blame other people, and you blame that for that and that for that and blah blah blah. It's just bullshit. And you feel that the earth is evil. It's an evil place. The earth is evil. Everyone is evil. They want something from you maybe. And then you have 50, 75. You go up to grief. This is like when something really tragical maybe happens. Someone dies. You go into a car accident. Or it could be anything. That could be related to something negative that you connect in your head, you put a meaning onto it, it's really bad. And then you feel the life is kind of tragic, and the emotion that you feel is regret. I'm regretting that I didn't do this earlier. I regret that I didn't do that, blah blah blah. It's just a pattern that goes around and around in your head. And the more you let go of these negative emotions in your body, and you raise your awareness, and then you raise your vibration. So the more you get aware of in life, the higher you will climb. By the way, what do you think about is it nice? I've been writing. Can you see what I write? So when you move up, fear, you go up to fear. There's a lot of people living in fear because watching the news, everything is like negative. So they keep you at a lower level. And when they keep you at a lower level, you want to feel secure all the time, because otherwise you will feel fear. And then don't go anywhere, you won't do anything, you will stick to your place where you're doing, you will go through the same work. Even if you feel a lot of bad emotions, you don't even want to do it, but the emotion will always control if you're going to do something or not. It's really important to know, because the emotions, even though you're thinking of doing something and you feel an emotion, it's going to stop you. It's going to block you from doing what you want in life. So it's important to be aware of things and move up here. You want to move up. Because when you let go of this fear, for example, you will move up to desire and anger. So anxiety is actually created around here. And I underline this, is because anxiety starts with ignorance. And when you're suppressing something, you ignorate it, you suppress it, then you will feel worry, and then you will feel fear. And when you feel fear and you still suppress it, you kind of don't want to handle it, and you're like, I'm going for it later, I don't want to think about it, I don't want to feel it, anything. It goes over to anxiety. And anxiety, when you suppress the anxiety, and you're like, oh no, I'm fine, then you will go to depression. But when you let go of this, and you move up, the anxiety will go away. But step number one is to be aware of what you feel, what you experience, what happened earlier in life. Be aware, that's the key number one. Without that, you're out of control. These negative emotions will run your life, literally run your life. So, and when you're in around 100, You will feel disappointment. You move up a bit. You will maybe go to anger. And something really interesting to know about anger. It's when you're angry at someone, when someone is angry at you, they actually are feeling hurt inside. Anger is a way to not showing that you're hurt. And this comes out in hate. And you start to be demanding in life. But when you let go of this anger, you will move up. And this is where the empowerment starts. You actually start to empower yourself. So why I painted this red is because it's negative. It's not good. And here comes pride. And you start to empower yourself. And this is where things will start to be possible for you. You know, like, yeah, I can do it. I can fucking do this. You move up to 200. And I underline this because the majority of the people on this planet is here at 207. They are. So like 90-something, 8% of the people are here. So they're like, yeah, I have some courage. It's possible. I can do it. But it's not more. It's not more. But when you let go of this and you start to move up, you come to a neutral state. You start to trust. And one interesting thing about trust is that if you don't trust someone else, it's because you're not trusting yourself. Think about that. And if you don't trust yourself, you cannot trust anyone else. You cannot trust life. And you cannot trust that things are happening for you. You think that all things that happens is happening to you. And it's like, why is this happening to me? But it's not happening to you. You're gonna get what you get until you learn and move up. And then you're not gonna get that anymore. Think about that. So then you move up to acceptance. And here is where the optimism comes in. And I'm a fucking optimistic guy. So, and when you're optimistic, you feel harmonious. And you feel that, oh fuck yeah, we can do this. I fucking love this. So depending on what you are on the scale, you will feel certain emotions and you will have patterns in life. And then you come up to reasoning, 400. You start to forgive. You can forgive yourself. You can forgive other people for what they were, because you were blaming in the earlier. You were blaming everyone, right? Now you can forgive them. And when you forgive them, you release that energy of shit that you've been walking around with. And you start to feel that something is meaningful in life. You start that there is meanings to stuff. It's really nice. And then I underline love. Because here is where the magic start to happen. When you come up here, you get deep understandings of how things are or are not. You will understand other people. You will understand yourself. You will understand why your parents did stuff. You will understand why your sister and brother did stuff. You will understand things that you recently haven't understood. And you will be kind to people. You will like walk around and it's like, oh man, hey, how's it going? You're so kind. And this part is like people, you will attract the same type of people as you. So when you're here, you're like walking around with all this love. And all these other people that's on the same, they will come into your life. Because you know the law of attraction, for example, right? And when you're vibrating at the same, you kind of are in sync. So when you meet when you're here and you're meeting someone that is really angry, do you want to hang out with this guy? You're like, no, don't want to be with him. But when you have two guys that are really angry, they can sit next to each other and like, fucking I hate this and I hate this and blah blah. And the other dude is like, yeah, because they're vibrating at the same. So they're aligned with each other. And they feel some kind of connection to each other because they're like the same. It's the same here and everywhere. So how you vibrate is also a way what you feel and how you react. So I've been down here. I had a lot of shame. That's why I'm so interested in this, because I had so much shame. I was actually in the fucking bottom. And now I record myself. I don't have any problem with it. I'm from Sweden. I do it in English because I like it. Because there's no shame. I don't feel the emotions. Because it's the emotion that actually controls your life. So depending on what emotions you have in your body, it will reflect how high quality of your life is. Because the more good feelings you have, you will have fun and you feel love and all this stuff, the more you will feel that your life is good, because your emotions is your life. If you walk around with shame, guilt, grief, fear at the same time, all day, every day, and you're like pissed off at everyone, or you're just walking around and you're crying all the time and you have no idea why, what's that quality of your life? It's not super good, right? But when you go to the core of the problem and the issue, what caused it, and you get awareness of what it is, you can let go. And when you let go of this, it's like taking something heavy from your chest, and then you're like, oh. And why I say this is because I experienced it. I've been here, I walked up, and I'm so happy. And I found this, and I now understand how it works. So you can do the same. Because when you get rid of this, you can do anything. Because there's no emotion that is blocking you for do what you want to do. I still have some fears that I need to be aware of to move forward. Because otherwise the fears are controlling me. But I want to take it from the back and put it in the front so I know what the fear is. And then just walk through it. Because that's how you get rid of it. You do what feels most uncomfortable. That's why everyone says that you have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And that's because all these emotions will tell you not to go there because it's uncomfortable. But if you just go through it and you go and do it anyway, it will vanish like thin air, like it will disappear. Because you've gone through it. I truly believe this is the majority of the people on this planet, not in this country or something, on the planet, that walking around with this. How can everything change on this earth if you just move from here to here? If everyone did that, one jump. What happened if you move from here to here? You just start to be optimistic about stuff. It's not fucking easy. It's gonna be hard because you not want to experience this stuff, because you have to re-experience what caused it, and you have to face it. Otherwise, you will not get rid of it. That's how I did, and that works perfectly. And I'm still challenging myself all the time. What's the emotion? So raise your vibrations. This is just a short. We will go deeper into this later on because this is fucking interesting. Really. Look at it. Like the empowerment starts here. You start to trust yourself. You get optimistic. You can forgive others. You get deep understanding for stuff. The higher you go, you can see a pattern here. Better quality of life here. Much better. But often the ego will say, no, don't do that. Because he want to keep you safe. He want to keep you at one spot. But remember, it's just the ego. It's not you. It's the ego. And the more you feed the negative ego, the bigger it will become. And you will take down that negative ego the sooner you can. Because if you want to kill a monster, you want to kill it when it's small. Not when it's Godzilla. It's going to be hard. You need a helicopter and stuff to get it down. It's crazy. Alright, so thank you for watching, and next time we'll see what comes up. But we're gonna go deeper into this in the future to see what actually we can get some awareness of and what we will come up with. So, see ya!